So my name is Chidera Agbim, and I'm currently a master's student in global environmental change in Cranfield University under the SWE department, which is School of Water, Environment, and Energy. And I what's my motivation for climate change? Actually, I think my motivation for climate change started after like I took an online course on Coursera, which I'll never forget. That was like my standing point first, and then I took the course. I was curious, took more
Took
courses,
more courses.
and then I'm here today as a MSc student in climate change. Then I think my motivation is the fact that I'm trying to like make impact, not just for myself, but only for my generations to come, for my future generations, trying to make the world sustainable for them, trying to make the world a better place, trying to stop global warming and things that are just making the world or the earth uncomfortable because the extreme weather conditions is not even something to write home about. So because of my passion and my zeal, I've been able to join so many social volunteer networks, societies, and conferences basically. And I'm also here at Sustainability Z co-founder as well. That's because of my passion. So I currently in Cranfield University, I'm under.
Sorry, Chidera, I can unmute yourself.
Okay, I hope I've not been muted for so long. So yeah, basically, under the Green Team, what we do, the Green Team is a Cranfield University volunteer society where we as students try to bring sustainability initiatives to the university and students themselves. So my passion for sustainability has actually been really, really impactful. So Joy, would like to hear your own passion for sustainability. Introduce yourself, why you're here, what you aim to gain. Tell us how your journey for sustainability started and everything in between. Is that okay? Please, let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here. And my name is Joy Mampak. I am currently an MSc student at University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I'm
Okay.
doing my master's program in energy and environment. So
Okay.
my motivation for climate change began as an undergraduate. My first degree was civil engineering. So I had my undergraduate project on a topic that really opened my eye to see why climate change was a matter of urgency, right? I I dealt with hospital waste, how it's managed, the effects of improper hospital waste, and then I got to see how it causes air pollution, water pollution, and in the long run, it's just hazardous, and the greenhouse effect that it also emits when burning or just in open dumps, right? So that was my motivation for applying for an MSc in energy and environment. And also because energy is a part of life. We use energy in every area. We need it for light, for cooking, for transport, right? Energy touches on everything. And all of these things impact the environment one way or the other. So that was my own motivation for starting an MSc in energy and environment. Then I'm grateful to be here because this webinar is an opportunity to speak with youth like myself and also like minds and contribute to climate awareness and just make a change. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Like, thank you. Your motivation is actually really, really inspiring because there's a lot of waste. I think even here in the UK too, we have conferences about waste management things as well. And I realized recently that there are different people have different motivations to come into climate change, and that's why this first topic was here, like your motivation and your motivation and inspiration basically. So yours is like climate change, waste management, and energy. So mine is more of the creating of awareness kind of part. I think I met someone recently that has is about the whole energy generation, biomass, and the rest. I actually have a friend that's been working in like a biomass company, so everyone has their different motives. But the good thing about the whole thing is that we are all driving towards one goal, which is to achieve a sustainable world for ourselves and our children, future years unborn. So it's really, really good. It's really, really excellent. So now I'll just be diving into, no, before that, let's make it a very interactive session. So I think I would like to hear the motivation. We have 9 participants now. I'd just like to hear motivations of other people. Can someone just say, raise up your hand and just tell us, okay, why you're on this webinar and your motivation, just at least just 2 people. Let's quickly and let's have it interactive. Please, thank you. Don't mind the time, don't worry. We'll be able to manage it. We'll just hear you 1 minute, 2 minutes, please. Anyone at all, just raise your hand and then we'll say, okay, yeah, just tell us why you're interested. Did you say not me? Is there anyone saying something? Please, just one person at least, just tell us why you're
I
here.
think Mayowa has his hand raised up.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone, and it's nice to meet you, Chidera and Joy. So for me, I feel like one on this call is like majority of countries have like a pathway to like towards net zero. Like some of the countries, like we had like the Paris summit, and I feel like Africa is lagging behind. And I feel like we as youth, we are like at that trend where we need to like be more productive, like in terms of like the energy sector. So I think one of the reasons why I'm excited here, why I'm here, is just to listen to how youth like myself are planning to contribute towards net zero for Africa.
Okay. Thank you so much, Marawa. That's really, really inspiring because honestly, I think one of the my major contributions to the whole sustainability Z initiative is the fact that we are trying to bring young professionals. We're trying to like bring young professionals on board. I think recently the COP28 actually commissioned the youth climate champion. That was a very big motivation for me because they're noticing the efforts that youth are putting. The fact that we're trying to get an education to empower ourselves, the fact that we're trying to attend conferences, create webinars like this to create awareness. So it means that our efforts to climate change as youth are not being are recognized even in the global space. So that's why I really like the Sustainability Z initiative, and I believe that by the end of today, everyone will be able to like tap into that initiative as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right into my part of the topic. So basically, I'll go first briefly while Joy takes the remaining parts of the session with her topic as well, the role of climate change awareness in youth capital development across sub-Saharan Africa. Then we'll have the Q&A and concluding speech. So my topic basically is understanding climate change impacts and actions. And I'm sure everyone is going to be curious as to why did Chidera pick this topic. So basically under Sustainability Z, we have monthly themes, and the theme for the month of May and I think for April and May was climate change. So I just thought to myself, how about I just explain climate change from like scratch to like, I read somewhere, I think in a book, someone said, if you can't explain whatever it is you're pursuing to a child, then you actually don't know what it is that you're teaching. So I just wanted to help people understand climate change just from the roots in the easiest way possible, well simplified, no technicalities, just really easy. So are we ready? Okay, so basically, understanding climate change, impacts, and action. I've already done an introduction to myself already, so you all know me. So what is the reason? So we always experience different things when it comes to climate change. So we always experience the weather change, there's change in weather. The weather is not as it used to be. It's now either it's hotter or it's cooler, or it's now much more extreme. There is a lot of changes in the weather. So the way it was in the years before. I think that there are lots of statistics to show the changes in these weather conditions and weather patterns. We are seeing that it's no longer the way it used to be. So it's obviously there is a shift somewhere. The question is, where is the shift? What is causing the shift? So a lot of people say, okay, humans are causing the shift. Some people say, no, nature is taking its course. But according to the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, that's the IPCC, they have said that it's humans that are causing the change. So we'll just see how humans are causing the change later on. So basically, we'll go through the science of climate change. Like I said, there's no technicality, just simple, the science of climate change. We'll go through future projections, and we'll see mitigating climate change. The question is it even possible to mitigate climate change? Some people say it's not possible. Some people say we can just create resilience mechanisms. Some people say we can just adapt. There's just a lot of things, but people say no, we can't fully eradicate it, but we'll find out at the ending of this slide. So the first thing on my slide today is weather versus climate change and global warming. I think some people don't really understand that there is a difference between weather, between climate change, between global warming. So what is weather? So weather apparently is this particular state of the atmosphere at a particular time. So it's raining today, that's the weather condition for today. It's cloudy today, that's the weather pattern for today. It's sunny, that's the weather pattern. So that current change is weather. It doesn't have to do anything with climate yet. But then when we now move forward and we now say, okay, climate change. So climate change now refers to the long-term shift in the earth path and weather pattern. So if it used to be rainy once, it's now rainy twice, rainy 3 times. It's now the rain is now much more heavier. Then you now have to ask yourself a question, okay, this is not how it used to be. So you see that the climate is changing. If it used to be a bit hot before, say maybe 10 degrees, 15 degrees, now it's getting to like 30 degrees or whatever degree it is, you know that, okay, yes, the weather is constant, but the degree at which the weather is changing or is increasing is what is climate change. That's the shift. And then we now have what global warming. So global warming, we always hear what global warming, but what actually is global warming? So global warming here refers to what the long-term rise of the average temperature. So the world as a whole getting hotter. So now it's no longer weather that is rainy or sunny. It's no longer, okay, it's rainy or sunny 2 times, 3 times. Now it's now like the whole globe is getting hotter. The earth is getting warmer than it used to be, and it's as a result of the greenhouse effect. So with regards to climate change, which we discussed and we said is a long-term shift. So the fact that the weather condition is no longer the way it used to be, it's now much more extreme. It's now causing like lots of problems. And this problem, I think the negative thing about this is the fact that the problems is it's not just for one area. So you not say, okay, it's just Africa that is going through it. It's just Europe. Every part of the world is going through the same climate change. Every part of the world is going through the same extreme weather condition, is going through the same high temperatures, going through the same flooding. Like currently in the place I am in, when you're going out, you see lots of areas getting flooded. That's when it was really rainy. I mean, not right now, but then when the rain was so heavy, you see areas getting flooded. You see I think in Nigeria currently, the heat 2 months ago or a month ago, there was like very high heat waves. Like you see that, okay, yes, we used to have heat before, but now we are having much more extreme heat conditions. So these are the impacts of that long-term shift in the weather conditions. So the question is, what is causing this long-term shift in weather condition? Why are we having it? That's why we are gathered here today, to understand what is causing the whole climate change thing. Is it humans? The question, so people ask, is it humans that are causing it, or is it natural? Is it a natural phenomenon? Is it a natural cause? But like I said earlier, the IPCC has confirmed that it is humans that are causing it because of the greenhouse gases that we are emitting into the environment. So the question here is, what are these greenhouse gases? How do they come about? Where are they from? What do they do? What is the greenhouse gas effect? So we see that the emissions from humans are the ones that actually cause the whole climate change. So you have emissions from industries, transportation, manufacturing agents, manufacturing industries, agriculture, down to your homes, probably the energy, the condition or the appliance you use to cook. Maybe you're using kerosene to cook, maybe you're using something that's just, so you see that even the little thing you do as an individual affects the the atmosphere as a whole. So we have these greenhouse gases, we have the carbon CO2, that's what everyone knows about CO2. Where is CO2 generated from? Everyone knows it's from fossil fuel, right? And we get fossil fuel, especially from the energy industry, where there's cars, transportation systems, industries trying to produce energy. And like Joyce said, everything you do, in fact, you live, breathe, and I don't want to say eat, but you live, breathe energy. You use light for like various things. So the sources of your energy has a very, very high impact on the environment. What other things to contribute to these environmental issues? There are different things, down to waste management, how you dispose your waste, how you, there are so many things that contribute to these things. And this greenhouse effect has the power to warm the earth because they release gas into the atmosphere that traps the sun. So this, like, the greenhouse effect is more like a blanket. I think the way I was able to understand this whole greenhouse effect as when I started was when you're feeling cold and then you wear a blanket over yourself, you find out that you're warm. So like heat cannot go out, but heat is coming in, right? So there's solar energy from the sun coming into the earth, but that the greenhouse gas has trapped the energy. So the solar energy, so heat cannot go out. It's now trapping all the heat into the earth, into the atmosphere. That's why it's getting hotter, and this is causing adverse effects in so many ways, and I don't even want to say how many ways, but in just so that it's in so many ways. So now there is now a call for like urgent action, which is why we are here. And when you talk about urgent actions, the fact that we need to see, okay, how do we, because there have been climate change models already. The IPCC is making science models to predict the impact of climate change now and in the future. You know, there's a lot of models trying to tell us that, okay, it's getting worse, it's getting higher, it's getting, but the question is, what do we need to do? Is it so, or some people say it's not that urgent, some people say it's so urgent. You know, there are a lot of controversies and questions in between. But the thing is, what are we doing now to stop it first? What are we trying to do? And that's why we're all here. We're trying to like gain knowledge, look for means we can contribute our own quota, because honestly, one person cannot save the earth. We have to do it by ourselves individually, from your homes, from the kind of car you use. I think I actually have a lecturer who said he doesn't want to use fossil fuel cars anymore because he feels him as a person is contributing to carbon emissions. So he has to go and buy a low carbon car, a hybrid car, just so that it doesn't emit as much as it used to be. So what is your own contribution? How urgent is this action? And in this picture, we can see there are the movement from a very good earth, or yeah, a very good earth to like a very negative earth. Imagine all the trees that create peace and that gives you that helps you rejuvenate, that gives you peace of mind. They're all burnt out. Imagine, I don't know, some people say it's that some pictures like this make it too extreme. But the truth is, if you check statistics, you see that there are some of our favorite animals or favorite species of plants that actually going extinct. The weather is getting hotter, the rain is getting more plenty. So there's actually a call for urgent action. So now, since there's a call for urgent action, we need to look at the future predictions. So if we don't do anything now, what are the possible things that could possibly happen? What's the worst that can actually happen if we don't do anything now? And then we are seeing things like by the end of 21st century, there'll be a rise of around 2 degrees Celsius, if likely inevitable, even with emissions reduction. So we are seeing that we don't only have to focus on just emissions. There are other things we need to focus on, because they're predicting and saying that there's actually going to be a rise. And you know, the Paris Agreement has already said that we don't want to even rise above 2 degrees. But how we now see that, okay, there's even possibility of 3.6. These predictions, are they right? Are they wrong? Is it crucial? Is it urgent? Is it that serious? These are the things we need to like check and see, okay, how can I contribute to the whole greenhouse, sustainability of the world as a whole. Imagine your favorite animal not being seen by your children because it's extinct. I don't know if I'm over exaggerating it, but that's why we need to contribute and do something about it. And then we have the global sea levels are projected to rise to over 10 or 12 inches. And as you can see, I think in Nigeria, I live in an area where it's actually full of floods. And this flood can either be from surface water, fluvial floods, sometimes it's even from rainwater. And we are seeing that all this extreme weather, so if all these extreme weather conditions is having adverse effects on every part. So if it's over flooded, you see that it has adverse effects on people, and people leave their homes. There is a lot of impact here and there because of the flooding issues. So we see that anything that happens to one affects the other. So we need to create knowledge for people to be able to handle each aspect. And I think that's why there is the sustainable development goal that helps us like address each of these problems individually, because we cannot handle one and leave the other. We need people that can handle everything accordingly. And then we're now seeing health related issues. So we're seeing health related issues, and you're seeing that there are so many health impacts with regards climate change. So from overflooding, from heat waves, there are so many health diseases that could come. Inhaling of carbon emissions. I think there's an area in Nigeria called Port Harcourt that there's so much soot in that area. You can even inhale it, you can eat it, there's a lot of damage to health, right? The question is, can we fully mitigate climate change? I honestly don't think they can fully mitigate it. I just think we can really adapt. And thank God we have the IPCC, we have the Sustainable Development Goals, we have the COP. These are organizations that are putting in plans, putting in mitigation strategies, resilience and adaptation strategies. Resilience, and there's adaptation, which I've said about already. So we need to look for a way to adapt to this thing, or we need to look for a way to resist this thing from becoming worse, both from the weather events, sea level rise, and we need global collaboration. It cannot just be only me. It cannot just be just me and Joy. It has to be me and so many other people from different parts of Africa. And the most important one is why we are here today, which is youth empowerment. I think we need the youth. I don't know why I'm so interested in youth that, like, if I check my LinkedIn and I see a youth doing something in your field, I just follow you immediately, because I just feel like, okay, if we partner now, we have like 40 to 50 years. In fact, I feel like we are the hot blood of the industries. I don't know, but I just how I feel that we are the ones that if we gain vast knowledge at this moment, we'll be able to make huge impact. And that's why I'm just here. We are Sustainability is here. And that's why you all are here, to gain the knowledge, to gain the expertise. And at the end of this event, I'll actually be sharing an opportunity to students to join for there's actually a program. So, but that's for the ending. So when we get there, we'll cross it. Then, oh, sorry, I meant to. So that's it. So basically, that's all. So this is a call for us youth to like make a huge impact. And I really like Joy's topic because it's going to transcend from youth empowerment, which I stopped, is going to continue from her to her youth and Africa. And I believe she's going to tell us a lot of things we can do together as youth to help climate change, resilience, adaptation, and to keep the world sustainable. Thank you all.